New information on the woman accused of making threats towards Colorado schools. The investigation into the specific cause of the Notre Dame Cathedral fire begins. And we'll take you to the cookout benefiting our local homeless center. This is 17 News at Noon. Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. It was a threat that's left many in Colorado and around the nation on edge. And now the FBI says the danger is over. Less than 2 hours ago, officials confirmed the woman who was accused of making credible threats against schools in the Denver area was found dead with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. 18-year-old Sol Pice traveled to Colorado and made several threats to schools. The FBI said she was armed and dangerous and infatuated with the Columbine shooting. This prompted several major school districts in the area to close for the day.
Obviously, we are concerned to get kids back to school, and so we're going to continue working with the school district, the school safety team, to make sure that we can do that in a safe manner, and that during this very important week to the Columbine community, that those events are carried off in a safe manner as well.
Roughly 800 schools were closed today, impacting nearly 500,000 students. The man accused of driving under the influence and killing a woman and her daughter on Taft Highway back in July 2017 was in court today. Vincent Moroyoki is charged with 2 counts of vehicular manslaughter with intoxication and 2 counts of second-degree murder. He was driving a pickup truck on Taft Highway into oncoming traffic when he hit a 50-year-old woman and her 20-year-old daughter. The 2 women were driving home from Taft from Bakersfield. They died at the scene. Moroyoki suffered no injuries. He is suspected of having been driving under the influence. According to the prosecutor, Moroyoki had stopped by 2 different gas station markets after work, purchased beer and a bottle of Fireball whiskey to drink with some coworkers. He then allegedly drank 5 beers and drank some of the Fireball before he started driving. The defense argues it wasn't until after the accident Moroyoki drank the Fireball. They ask that 2 counts of vehicular manslaughter are dropped. A woman accused of drowning her infant grandson to, quote, prevent family shame has a new court date set. Bianca Dillon faces 3 felony counts, including first-degree murder. Her next court appearance is set for May 15th. Court documents state Dillon drowned the baby just after her 15-year-old daughter gave birth in the bathroom of their Southwest Bakersfield home back in November. Documents say Dillon and her nephew, 33-year-old Bakshinder Paul Singh Man, buried the body in the backyard underneath a planter. Man disappeared and has not been seen since November. He's wanted as an accessory. Dillon's husband, Jagsir Singh, was also charged as an accessory, but he died by suicide last month. Police are investigating a homicide after a shooting at an apartment complex on Myers Street. We spoke with Arvin Police Chief Scott Kimball, who said it happened just before 11 o'clock last night at the Summerview Apartments. Officers found a man in his 20s who'd been shot and killed. Police haven't released any suspect information at this time. The Kern County Crime Lab is assisting with the investigation. 2 men are wanted in a robbery after allegedly stealing a puppy. It all happened early last week when a man was walking his friend's pit bull in Wasco. The sheriff's office says Hasil Santos and Daniel Torres assaulted the man and walked off with the puppy. Deputies found Torres at Barker Park in Wasco 2 days later and arrested him. Officials found gang paraphernalia, a stolen gun, and heroin inside his home. Santos and the pit bull have not been found. The sheriff's office says they're looking for him and ask you to call KCSO if you know where he could be. A gun reported stolen last month from a Kern County Sheriff's deputy is still missing, and investigators are continuing to question a woman who told police she had the deputy's stolen backpack. Last Friday, Bakersfield police officers pulled over the woman. Officers say that's when she told them she had the backpack. She then took police to her Northwest Bakersfield home. There, officers found the deputy's stolen badge, ID, prescription pills, and paperwork, but not the stolen Glock 22. Officers seized 3 cell phones, 2 laptops, and a gas card. The investigation is ongoing, but the woman has yet to be charged. Uneasy anticipation hanging over Washington ahead of tomorrow's release of the Mueller report. The extent that Attorney General William Barr chose to redact Robert Mueller's findings will likely spark a legal battle. This as White House aides express concern about the internal battles the report could provoke. Sunlen Serfati has more.
With Washington bracing for the release of Attorney General William Barr's redacted version of the Mueller report, anxiety is building in the White House, with several current and former aides telling CNN they are dreading the publication. A number of the president's staff cooperated with the special counsel, including former White House counsel Don McGahn, whose 30 hours of testimony, sources say, unsettled the president. Several aides now expressing concern that the release of the new information in the report may provoke Mr. Trump's anger, and that the report will be embarrassing and unflattering for the president, providing the most credible account so far of chaos inside the West Wing. One Republican source calling the tension among the president's aides, quote, very high, adding they cooperated and had to tell the truth. He is going to go bonkers. White House counselor Kellyanne Conway downplaying the concern Tuesday night.
That's sort of the latest iteration of the palace intrigue stories. They'd rather just try to pit us all against each other and the president against current and former and future staff. I can tell you that we're not looking at it that way at all.
Sources who have spoken with President Trump over the past few days say he is not concerned about the report's public release, claiming it will vindicate him and help him move beyond the cloud of the Mueller investigation.
I heard it's going to come out on Thursday. That's good. And there can't be anything there because there was no crime. This crime was all made up. It was all a fabrication.
People familiar with the matter say the president is not expected to review the report ahead of Thursday's release, but will be briefed on the findings once they're public. The president will also likely spend hours watching TV coverage analyzing the details. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi tamping down expectations, but keeping pressure on the Justice Department as Democrats push to see the full unredacted report.
I respect protecting sources and methods. I don't support hiding the truth from the American people.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
In your 17 Business Watch, prices at the pump continue to skyrocket. According to our KGET gas tracker, the cheapest gas in Bakersfield can be found at the Fast Strip on Mount Vernon and University Avenues, right across from Bakersfield College. A gallon of regular there will cost you $3.45. On average, Californians are paying $4.01 for a gallon of regular. But a new study by AAA finds that most drivers are filling up with premium when they don't need to. 84% of cars don't need premium gas. AAA says premium doesn't give cars a performance advantage, mileage boost, or extra engine protection. It just comes at a premium price. The average driver can save $300 a year by switching from premium to regular unleaded gas. Now, you may want to take a peek inside your freezer. Several Ben & Jerry's ice cream flavors are being recalled. The FDA says some pints of Chunky Monkey and bulk containers of Coconut 7-Layer Bar are affected. They may contain tree nuts, but that's not labeled on the containers, and that puts people with nut allergies at risk. So far, there are no reports of anyone getting sick in connection with the recall. Ben & Jerry's say they have fixed the issue and it shouldn't happen again. Now, a winemaker in Hungary claims to be selling the world's most expensive wine at $40,000 a bottle. The wine is produced in a region known for its golden dessert wine. The bottle is a 1.5-liter hand-blown magnum with a special cork made in Portugal. The general manager of the winery says his wine has a rich royal heritage that dates back to the 1500s. France's Louis XIV is said to have described it as the wine of kings and the king of wines. The $40,000 price tag is due to the amount of manual labor required to produce it. The grapes are picked one by one for daily harvest of only about 20 pounds in a good year. It takes a ton of grapes to make a single bottle. Only 18 bottles are currently offered for sale, but a wine expert in Budapest says they may increase in value as the wine matures. Winemaker Royal Tukei says the $40,000 bottle is the world's most expensive wine on release. Other rarities may fetch higher prices at auction. Well, spring has sprung around the country, and for many Americans, that means vacation planning is well underway. One of the hottest choices for eager travelers this year, booking a cruise. CNBC's Seema Modi has more.
Despite recent dramatic events, vacationers still seem to love cruising.
The cruise lines are full. Our three brands are better booked than any time ever in the history of the company at ever higher prices.
An estimated 30 million are expected to board ships across the world, a 6% increase from last year. New players like Virgin Voyages setting sail in 2020 are pushing the industry leaders to not only build new ships, but upgrade their current fleet.
It's my happy place. I've been cruising since I was in my teens.
I love being at sea. It's a great vacation. Everything's included. So it's a fun vacation.
I can party. I can relax. I can enjoy the sea all at one cost.
Aboard the Norwegian Sky, this ship was originally built in 1999. Just earlier this year, it underwent a 3-week complete gut renovation. In total, Norwegian Cruise Line has spent nearly $1 billion over the past 4 years on modernizing its fleet, and it's part of a larger industry-wide effort. Royal Caribbean expected to spend $1.5 billion over the course of 5 years on upgrades and renovations. And Carnival, the largest of the three cruise lines, is already spending billions on updates and refurbishments. The goal is to keep their loyal passengers happy, while also appealing to younger customers, like millennials who are spending more on travel. Experts do caution that the cruising sector is highly dependent on a strong economy to keep ships full. Cruise lines may be forced to cut prices if consumers pull back on how much they spend on travel. Seema Modi, CNBC Business News, Miami.